There are three reasons why every man should get married at least once in their lifetime. That's what I'm going to go over in this video. And look, I was married for 20 years, been single for 2.5 years, and now divorced. And this is one of the reasons why I decided to create this YouTube channel, because most dating advice guys have never been married, but yet they talk about finding love and they talk about marriage, or they only have one opinion on marriage, and that is never get married. But look, as a guy that's been married, there are three reasons why I believe every man should get married at least once in their life. That's what I'm going to get into in this video. All right, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm the Silver Bachelor. This channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and the notification button, because I'm dropping a video every day. All right, now, you guys might get your panties all in a bunch hearing this, right? And I'm saying there are three specific reasons why every man, in my opinion, should get married at least once in their lifetime. So I'm going to get into these points right now. All right. So first of all, most of us dream of growing old with someone. Well, especially women, right? Women more so than men. But we also think, what are we going to do when we get old? Who's going to take care of us? Do we want to have children? All these things. And of course, most of us guys are freaked out about the legal costs. And if you have to pay alimony and child support and all these things as a result of marriage, or she's just going to leave you anyways, she's going to get bored anyways, all these reasons to not get married. But right now, I'm going to get into the three reasons why every man should get married at least once in their lifetime, okay? And again, coming from somebody who has been married, and I was married for just a little bit over 20 years, so I know all about this, okay? So number one is that when you marry someone, you learn selflessness. And I'm just going to call it, right? I know there's bachelors that I know, they've never been married. And even myself now as a bachelor, I've become quite selfish, all right? It's all about me, and that's all cool. But when you get married, and it's a different perspective that you can never have unless you've gone through it, unless you've married somebody and you learn how to be selfless, all right? Which is critical in anyone's life. If we go around in life always just being selfish, then we're not going to contribute back to others, and let alone be able to take care of others in a selfless way. So that's one of the things I feel like every man should get married at least once, to learn what true selflessness means. The things you have to sacrifice for your wife, you can't even imagine until you actually are married, right? And you might say, well, Silver Bachelor, I could have the same. No, it's not the same. When you sign a contract, when you actually sign that contract, you start to shit yourself with fear. You start to think, oh my God, what did I just do? But you get over that, and there's things you learn. And that's why I'm saying in this video, these are the three things why every man should experience this. And you can only experience these things truly, right? Truly experience these things unless you actually are married. It's like somebody playing video games about warfare, or they learn about it in textbooks. Until you're actually on the battlefield, you actually don't know what it's really, really like. So for all you bachelors out there, I want to hear from you guys in the comments who have been married before or are married, and what you think of these things, these three things. Okay, so that's number one, is you learn selflessness, all right? And thinking of others before yourself, compromising in big, massive ways, okay? Number two, and I like this one a lot. Number two, when you get married to someone, you start to have a purpose that you never had before. You start to plan things together, right? Like you make plans. You say, oh, it would be great to take this cruise together, or you plan to invest together. You plan to dream together. And you guys, if you guys have never been married, you have no idea, like I said, what it's like. But when you have this bond and you've signed this contract, now you are one with someone else. You start to plan your life, and it brought me a lot of happiness. Okay, and just because I'm not married anymore and I'm divorced doesn't mean my entire 20 years was a disaster. No, there are some things that I learned about myself, and I look back and reflect back, and I think, those were wonderful things, and that's why I'm covering these three things. So that's number two, is that you have a purpose. You start to create a purpose where it's not just your purpose, it's her purpose as well. You dream together, you invest together, and you plan together. Now, I promised myself not to get emotional in this video and thinking about my ex. I'm feeling some things right now on this third thing, right? Whew. And this third thing is, I knew it. All right, this third thing is moments of unconditional love, okay? I say moments because at the end of the day, I felt like my ex didn't love me, didn't like me. But those times in a marriage when you're both together, you're in it together, okay? There are times where there's trauma. When my father passed away and my ex-wife was there for me, right? Times of pain, times of hurt, times of suffering, and you have this person in your life. And I'm only just getting a little emotional because um there were good moments in the marriage. There really were. And it wasn't all terrible. It wasn't all a disaster, right? And even near the end, there were moments where I felt this unconditional love that you can't you can't experience that any other way unless you've actually married, in my opinion. It's like somebody trying to say you have no idea what it's like to feel the love, the unconditional love as a child, with a child, unless you have a child, right? So that's what I'm talking about. That when you're married and you both have rings on your fingers, right? You both declared your love and your commitment to people in a massive way, right? At a wedding. And then you start living your lives together. And like I said, I was asked, by the way, from one of my subscribers to do this video because I mentioned that a couple times in some of my videos of why every man should get married at least once. And so those are the three things. Learning to be selfless, right? And you can't really learn that unless you've been married. It gives you purpose, even though that purpose may not be great, and it's a different purpose when you get divorced and separated, but at least you start to plan together and you dream together, right? And then third, to repeat, is those moments of unconditional love that you just feel like, wow, this person is my ride or die. This person is got my back. Moments, I say, because there's also other times where you're like, why would you do this? Which, by the way, just want to say something. If you've ever heard the phrase from Pontius Pilate, when Jesus was arrested and he's in front of Pontius Pilate, and then Jesus says, I am the truth. And Pontius Pilate says, well, what is truth, right? Not to get all religious or anything like this, but just from a philosophical standpoint. Truth is when the words and the deeds become one. So if someone says they love you, but their actions don't match their words, that's not truth. Or their actions don't match their words, right? So this is the thing in my marriage, is that there were eventually the actions and the words were not one. But those times, those moments of time where I felt unconditional love was the most amazing feelings that I've had probably in my life. They were momentary. So those are the three reasons why I think every man should get married at least once in their life to experience those three things. Now you might be thinking, well, Silver Bachelor, I've already experienced those same things and I've never been married. That's fine, but I am saying it is way different to be on the battlefield when you're getting shot at, or you're way different when you're actually in a real boxing match and you're getting punched in the face. Just like it's different when you have children and what it's like to raise children. It's different to own a house versus renting a house. It's different when you're married to someone contractually, right? And the things that you learn and you experience. So thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you next time.